Well, I want to turn to buying a home because arguably it's the single biggest purchase a couple can make. So, Anne Marie, how does a partner or one of the partners protect their interests?
Well, I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there that if you're not married, you're fully protected when it comes to the interest in your house. Or if you're the only person on title, that you're also protected. But the reality of the situation is your partner, so your common law partner, the person you're living with, or your spouse, very much could have an interest in your home. And what ends up happening on breakup is that person will potentially register a claim against your property in your home. So that's going to tie you up in terms of any type of financing or any type of sale of your home. And then that's when they start having conversations, and then that's when they issue potentially a claim against you for the interest that they say they have in your home. And so what ends up happening on breakup is couples get into this very nasty, complicated legal argument and legal case, and it causes an awful lot of stress, an awful lot of anxiety, and quite frankly, an awful lot of money. And so really the way to solve this problem is by way of having a modern marriage contract where the couple really does sit down and outline, if we were to break up, what will happen to the interest in the home.
Yeah, and I guess does it depend on whether they are married or common law and also where they live? Because provincial jurisdictions, they're all different, aren't they?
To some degree, but there's a lot of continuity across the country. And the reality of the situation is if a couple is married, there's automatic rights to the family home. And that's especially of concern to couples who might get married later in life, or couples who own the home before their spouse moves in, and they don't realize that they haven't protected that initial amount they came into the marriage with upon breakup. And so what's happening is someone will come into the marriage with a very big piece of equity or a piece of property. And upon breakup, they don't realize that the entire amount is split between the couple. And so that's leading to a lot of difficult conversations by us lawyers explaining what that looks like. Mm-hmm. And it's causing a lot of stress because people don't realize the amount they came into the marriage with for that matrimonial home is not protected.
Eva, you deal with clients like this all the time. How does a couple broach that conversation? Because like Anna Marie said, it's not an easy conversation to have. There's a lot of emotions involved.
I think the first thing certainly is not to use the word prenup. It somehow has strange links to it in terms of connecting with somebody who maybe has more power than the other and sort of forced. So I think that's the first thing. I think when people get together in a relationship, they should be transparent about their finances anyways. So this forces or encourages that conversation to disclose as gently as they can what they've got, what their assets are, what their liabilities are, when they're first getting together. And then as they're having that conversation, and that leads to the possibilities of, let's say, buying a house, being much more open and transparent in who's contributing what amount, why they're doing that, why they may be concerned in terms of protecting some of their assets. So it's a much more pragmatic conversation, and it could be quite a romantic conversation. You know, open up a bottle of wine on a Friday night and let's have this discussion, just as much about having a discussion of, you know, wanting to have children or what people's priorities are. It's no different. And I think in today's world, and with the millennials certainly that we see, they're having those conversations, which is great.
We have about 45 seconds or so. How do real estate agents play a role in this? And can they play a role?
Well, I think absolutely in terms of, just identifying to potential new buyers or people who are buying a home. The interesting thing about realtors is I think they really get involved in the couple's relationship a little bit, because buying a home is such a big deal, and really sort of being involved in helping them make this decision. I think just even identifying that this is something you might want to talk about or something you might want to consider, I think is enough to maybe spark the interest to have those conversations.